Today's video is brought to you in part by Windrider Apparel, The Angler Magazine, Artistic Printers, Mammoth Ridge Campground and RV Park, Rebel River Outfitters,
Rougarou Tackle Company, Hooker's Terminal Tackle, Mossheim Market and Deli, Ayler Packaging, and Slab Happy Lures.
Well, all right, guys, that's going to do it on our East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail for the year 2025 and 26. We're going to start a new one in August. Actually, August 29th will be Chickamauga Lake. Kicks it off, and I can't wait. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna have 4 months off. Got the ACC tournament coming up at the end of April here, and there's going to be almost 100 boats in that. Right now, I think they had like 4 spots left. I'm thinking now 4 spots left in that event, so it's going to be one of the largest ones they had. The cutoff is 100 boats. And it's usually 2 people per boat, and that is the cutoff for it. And it's always a fun time down there, fishing with friends, meeting friends, meeting some of those people who are on YouTube, kind of a YouTube celebrities type things going on there, and can't wait for that. Can't wait to take my bait pop down there. I know I get ragged a little bit about my bait pop and me advertising for bait pop, but bait pop works. There's no doubt about it. With me, anyway. I mean, if you had a different experience, that's fine. But I'm telling you, I've had it to help me out more than once, definitely more than once. And it's on my boat all the time. It's on my boat. But anyway, I want to come with you and give you the rundown of our bracket tournament for Angler of the Year here at the East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail. And, things were tough. But the good news is everybody is right now just sitting where they was before the bracket. And that's just how things can work in this tournament trail. That is the level that these guys fish at, and their talents are, their skill levels are, and we are blessed to be up finishing 5th out of the top 25. Can't be even more blessed, than that, outside of being a little bit higher. But let's focus on being 5th against these guys, the class of guys that we fish with. I'm telling you, these fellas have fished national championships. Joe Nash and Joe Nash came in first in the Crappie Masters, or I think it's Crappie Masters we fished last year, national tournament. On Watts Bar, boy, he's hard to beat, and for us to be able to compete against them and be at the level that we're at when they are at the level that they're at is awesome. I kind of dice up words and give you all a word salad a lot of times here, and for that I'm sorry. I'm doing my best, but I'm just going to keep going. You know what I mean? But anyway. We all finished in the spots that we started the bracket in, and for right now, there's still the top 2 teams are going to battle it out pretty soon for the championship part of the bracket, which will crown the Angler of the Year, and that's going to be the Pratt brothers and Matt Zenas and Joe Nash. Again, we fish against some nationally recognized teams, teams that have won some national, tournaments, and you you got to be good to get there. You got to be good to win those things, And um, I'm telling you, any of these guys um, can make it in the national trails, And um, again, it's just an honor to be up there with these guys, And again, it comes from the education you get on this tournament trail. I'm telling you, if you're around here close and you want to learn more about crappie fishing, get into this. Get into this tournament trail here. Get into the Chattanooga tournament trail that they've got going on. Uh, they just come out with a new schedule, for their 2026-27 year. Um, they're not just sticking with Chickamauga Lake. They're going to Watts Bar and other places, to fish this time, and that's great. And the tournaments are going to be held on Saturdays, and that's a plus. For me, I wouldn't fish it because it was on Sunday, but thank God I might be able to make a few of them this year. But anyway, back to it. I'll give you the rundown of the day. Wasn't a whole lot into it because of some circumstances that came up um, prior to this tournament that really got me down. And really wasn't much into it. I didn't have my heart. My heart wasn't there. Usually I'm all about it. I'm on it. I'm pushing and everything. But I just really, in a sense, wanted to get that day over with. I just, the steam was knocked out of me this week, past week. But we made commitments. JD and I went, and we done our thing. We got out there. Started off rough. Wind was bad, and we're beating around in this tracker, which is we're blessed to be able to fish in that thing. I'm telling you, that little tracker, we could not complain a bit about that tracker. Great boat, even it's limited on the wind. It's a flat bottom boat, sits on top of the water. You're just subsessible. If I can get these words out, I know some big words. It's just pronouncing them is my problem. Um, but you are out there in the elements, and they're gonna bother you in that boat. But we've took that boat all around East Tennessee for 3 years now, going on 3 years now, and fish these lakes in a lot of different conditions in that boat, and I could not complain about that boat whatsoever. It's taking us around. It's put us up into points. It's been good to us, and but we were out there at one point. We tried to leave the cove that we were in to get out of the wind and get out there and fish open, more open water stuff. We went out. It was not happening. The waves were just beating us to death. We couldn't stay on anything. We couldn't stay on the fish. Saw some open water fish, that I suspect would have been good white crappie. But if you can't hold your spot, you can't cast accurate. You're not going to get those fish. And but that's just the way it played out. And that could have been any tournament, not just this one. And that's the things you got to be prepared for. Just know that that's going to happen that way. Don't let that discourage you about fishing this tournament trail. If all you got's a little John boat, come give it a try. You'll learn. You'll learn like we did. Um, we've been learning. We've been climbing. Since we began this thing. And I remember when JD and I first started. It was nothing. You could have 26 boats, and we'd finish back there in 24th, and 22nd, 25th. but slowly we got better where we finished middle of the pack, you know, and sometimes a couple of times we hit third place. One time we caught big fish, you know, and don't let it be about the money, you know. Don't let it be about the win. Let it be about the experience and the knowledge that you get from fishing this trail. Sink deep into that. You know, when you're fishing around better people than you are, uh, as far as their skills go, don't be intimidated. Learn from them. You know, we are hard-headed people. JD and I are. You know, it was hard for us to get out and do the things we needed to do to catch the bigger fish. And toward the end of this year, you know, we got better at it. You know, uh, and we're just lucky that we can compete now. And we finished fifth in points this year, which is saying a whole lot. I know it lists uh, 25 teams on the little points race, but I don't think it lists everybody we fished against. I think there's more than that. And we were able to finish fifth, you know, and you say, well, oh, you got live scope, you know, and all that. When we started this thing, we didn't. We didn't have live scope. Like I said before, we didn't have live scope the first year we fished. Went to the classic, finished third in the classic, you know, without live scope. So, you know, don't be intimidated. You know, don't get it in your head, you know, that you can't be as good. You can't learn. You can't, you know, you can't compete, because that's just simply not true. In this club, you get taught, um, um, and they share, you know, how they caught them, where they caught them, what they were using, you know, and we go over the conditions. You end up learning fish behavior. You end up learning what fish do uh, uh, before and after a cold front, or when's the best times to fish, you know. Uh, what areas are better during certain times of the year. I'm telling you, you can catch crappie all year long. I was stuck in this thing where, you know, from fall to spring, that's the only time we fished. Now you can catch crappie all year long. You know, they bite all year long. They've got to eat all year long. And the stuff that you'll learn to catch those crappie is just mind blowing, you know. So we would love to have you at our tournaments this coming season, you know. It's not mine, but I'll advocate for it, you know. Um, it's definitely good. It's good brotherhood. It's good, clean camaraderie with all of us guys, you know. You know, always fun to be had, like I said before on the last video. But anyway, let me get back to the story here. I'll get way off track again. Um, JD and I really couldn't go too far from the cove or the creek that we put in at. Trailering was not allowed in this go around, so we didn't trailer anywhere. You know, we stayed inside the creek where we put in at, where we blasted off from, and um, it was an accomplishment for us, you know, to do as well as we did against those teams, against George and Tom. Uh, um, and come up like we did. You know, we lost the first round, but that's all right. You know, I said before, if I was going to lose to anybody, you know, I'd be honored to lose to any one of those guys up there. You know, and if we would have went on, I would have been honored to lose against uh, Matt Zenas and Joe Nash. You know, but there's always a chance. That's the thing with fishing. There's always a chance that someone's going to have a worse day than you did, and you're going to do better than they did. Uh, you know, and it goes even further. I'm telling you, with the education that you get fishing this tournament trail, it's doing good things. You know, Bait Pop, you know, is on board for this coming year. Uh, uh, Sniper has been there. ACC, you know, sponsors this one. Crappie Magnet sponsors this one. Bonehead Tackle, um, Big Bite Baits, all of that, is associated with it. Uh, and it's a good thing when these bigger companies want to get in on it. I mean, um, if you're looking for somewhere to start, this is the perfect place to start. I can't say that enough. But back to the story again. Uh, we didn't leave the creek where we fished. A lot of docks in that area, a lot of brush. We couldn't hardly stay on anything. Like I said, we were getting blowed around. It was hard to find a place that was out of the wind. At times, I'd say that wind is blowing 20 miles an hour, and we're just we're fighting it the whole time. Our spot lock's fighting it. Boat swirling around. We found a dock that was kind of cutting the wind off some. Uh, was able to anchor in there, and be accurate enough to fish that dock. And we left that dock for a little while and come back to that dock and wound up fishing that dock most of the day, most of the morning. We had 4 hours. Um, in the bracket, you only get 4 hours to fish, and then you come back and weigh in, and you only need 5 fish. JD did great. Once again, JD pulled us out. He had a 147, I think, or 130, 140, something like that. I can't remember. I'd have to look back at my scale, but um, that fish helped us out quite a bit. If we could have got uh, another one of those fish like that, it would have been a different story for us. But we didn't. We lost by exactly a pound of weight uh, in the first round. And again, I couldn't lose to better people. This is the cream of the crop this year, and with the fish that they were catching, we couldn't have been more blessed to be where we were at. Come in for weigh in. We weighed in second. Well, not that we placed second. We were second in line to weigh in, and it turns out nothing changed in the top six so far. You still got the championship round to go between the top two teams, but nothing changed. Everybody kept their place. Um, Chris Sims, he lost to the Cofelt brothers, and and the Cofelt brothers, lost to the Pratts, and then George and Tom that beat us fished against Matt and Joel, Matt Zenas and Joel Nash, and they lost to them in the evening end of the tournament. So, everybody's sitting exactly where they was before all this started. So we didn't lose anything, but we didn't gain anything. But it's a good thing. But anyway, I urge y'all to come in and give this a shot. The format is changing up for next year. Got a lot of mixed bag tournaments mixed up, to make it a challenge for people. Challenge for us for sure, but it's a good thing, it helps us, like I say, challenge us. It helps us learn, and that's what it's all about. But anyway, um, between the first and second round, Matt bought us pizza. We ate. We got to socialize there a little bit. Um, I'm not a conversationist, and anybody that has met me and knows me long enough can tell you that. But again, I'm working on it. But I had a good time with these guys. I always have a good time with these guys and all these people that are in the club. Well, not club, but in the tournament trail. We just have a great time, And again, I urge you, do not be intimidated. Start. Go out and fish. You'll find that everybody is willing to help you with certain things you broke down. People try to help you, no matter what the situation is. These guys, they want to see you do well. They want to see you grow. And I want to see you grow. I mean, coming from one of those that, you know, we didn't start off great and grand in our first endeavors in fishing tournaments. I mean, we could go out and catch our limit of fish, on the lakes and stuff around here that we fish, Cherokee and Douglas. But, all these lakes were new to us. We didn't fish Chick. We didn't fish Watts Bar. I was at Watts Bar once when I was a kid. We never fished Del Hollow. We fished it this year. And a couple of years ago, we never fished Loudon Tillico. There was only 2 lakes in this tournament trail that we actually fished, and that was Cherokee and Douglas. So don't be intimidated. Come on out, have fun. Join the ACC tournament that's coming up, the Big Fish tournament, the Big Crappie Bass. It's always good there, and meet some new people, meet some of the YouTubers, that are great at crappie fishing. Like Chris Gill's usually there. Flopping Crappie. I have trouble remembering his name all the time, but he'll be there. And nice, friendly folks. One time Andrew Nordby was there a couple of years, I think, and um, meet the Slab Happy guys. Lewis Gibson, LaRue Isom, the Chesser brothers, Chris Sims. All these are great fishermen, great anglers, great people. Uh, um, just come out, let's have a good time. We at the ACC tournament, we usually we get there the day before. We eat, we go out. We search around and try to look for those bigger fish, and that's the ticket. They're giving away a lot of money. If the money's your thing, that's fine. I think I enjoy fishing it more than I do really would be the money part. I mean, I'd be lying if I said um, um, that I wouldn't like, winning a little cash. I don't think that I'm going to win more than I've ever put into this sport, but thank God for Him giving me the ability to fish these things, and thank God for my sponsors out there. That we're able to do what we do because of those guys, and I want them to know we greatly appreciate it. And our families that allow us to be away from them, and uh, we miss certain stuff when we're out there fishing doing this stuff, and we enjoy it, but we do kind of half-heartedly miss, spending time, with our grandchildren and our children, and sometimes we can let that we could let fishing, take over us in our walk, with the Lord. Sometimes I have to ask myself, am I promoting God more than I'm promoting uh, these companies and stuff? Not that they don't deserve to be promoted. I mean, they help us out, they deserve to get promoted, and but we have to keep it real and keep God first in everything we do. And sometimes I have to uh, get a whipping, um, uh, and search myself and make sure that I'm giving God more credit than I am this fishing thing. That it's not consuming me. The Lord needs to consume my life. Uh, but anyway, until next video, I'm Perry Hensley from Slab Happy Lures. I invite you once again to join the East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail. It's starting up in August, like I said, the end of August. It may be a little warm on that one, but that's okay. You don't have to fish all of them. We got 4 coming to our area here around Douglas and Cherokee, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We learn, we have fun. That's what we do here at the East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail. But anyway, until next video, I'm Perry Hensley with Slab Happy Lures. We hope you have a blessed day, and we'll see you.